Going on a beautiful countryside walk at this time of year is one of the joys of summer. However, you may be just about to enter a field containing some of the deadliest creatures that you'll run into on a hike in the UK. I am, of course, talking about these, weighing in at approximately 620 kilograms, or 216 pounds, or 98 stone, or even 2/3 of a ton, massive herbivore mammals, the Bos taurus, better known as cattle or the farm cow. The Guardian newspaper released a story less than a year ago entitled "The Hell and Horror of Cow Attacks." Mentioned was the story of Jill Gilmore, innocently walking her little dog in the Greater Manchester area, climbed a stile and was almost instantly attacked by a herd of 20 to 30 cows, butting her to the ground, then repeatedly stamping on top of her. She broke both sides of her pelvis, 12 ribs, 2 bones in her neck and her arm. Her lung was damaged and also had ankle injuries. After surgery, she spent 3 months to learn to walk again. And she considered herself lucky. And why? The article goes on to mention the tragedy in 2017, the death of Brian Bellhouse. Then in 2020, the deaths of Malcolm Flynn, David Clark and Michael Holmes. And then in 2022, of Kathy McKellar and Hugh Evans, when they were savagely attacked by herds of cows in fields on public footpaths. This, quite frankly, is unbelievable. Just mind-boggling how it can happen. Something like this should never happen. When I first read this, I was completely astonished. How 1 minute you're walking on a public footpath and then you're attacked savagely by wild beasts. The victims were butted to the ground and trampled on and killed. Just astonishing. And my heartfelt condolences go out to the families of those that suffered in this way. Are these occurrences rare? Well, the stats in the 4-year window between 2019 and 2023 show cattle were responsible for 22 deaths in the UK. That compared to 16 responsible by dogs, that often get greater news coverage. But after surviving an attack in 2014, David Clark put a website together to raise awareness of the dangers posed by cows called Cattle Safety, Keeping Our Footpaths Safe for Walkers, where on his database he welcomes reports of cattle aggression, and since the website's launch 8 years ago, its data is approaching 1,000 such attacks. The website is terrific, really is. It gives lots of information, and interestingly, it actually gives things from the perspective of the cow. Imagine, if you will, a cow has been overwintered in barns and large farm buildings, outbuildings. And then when the spring comes, it's let in the fields, and it's got a burst of energy bouncing around the edges of the fields with their calves. Anyone walking past with their dogs, it sees as a threat, and you can kind of see that. So the responsibility is really with the owners. So David Clark's website mentions, and he's advocating and campaigning for farmers to carry public liability insurance for walkers who are attacked on public footpaths. But until that becomes mandatory, please be vigilant in these areas. Before looking into the subject, I recalled over the years the many times I'd seen cows in fields. My wife was a bit nervous, but I just waved my hands around and shouted "get back" and ploughed through. And yeah, that was a bit naive in hindsight, a bit foolish, you know, when you think that I've been quite lucky, really, as what's happened to some people. Because the advice from most quarters is this: keep your distance. If you enter a field and cows are on the path, take a wide berth round. Walk quickly and quietly, but do not run, as they might chase you. And don't give them any eye contact, as they find this intimidating. And never turn your back on them. Put dogs on short leads, and be prepared to drop the leads if the cows start following you at close proximity. But never shout at the cows, never hit the cows with a stick or with your trekking poles, and never do star jumps to try and get them to disperse. So there it is. Now, who'd have thought cows would be like this and could turn so viciously? Please do not underestimate them. Look out for the next creature feature series of studies on my channel and see what living things, whether a hindrance, a threat, or otherwise, you may encounter on the trail. See you next time, and safe hiking.